So this is what we were discussing. We were learning the user environmental variable and global variables. So in case if we want to or maintain variable for a specific user on a permanent basis, there's a file that we may have to write, and that file is located in home directory bash underscore file dot bash underscore file underscore profile file. This file will be we can use this file to this is the file. So we can use this file to update the variable, and once it is updated, we can restart the sessions. How many ever sessions I have. So we'll be having the variable that we have defined available for the particular logged in user. So I will demonstrate that in a minute. And that's about the user environmental variable. So this is very, and the other user login will not be able to see the variable that you have defined here. This is on the user environmental variables. Coming to the global environmental variable, this global environmental variable will be visible for the entire system. So for the entire system, it will be visible, including all the user logins. So this variable that you have set would be available. For this, you may have to write your files or the variables in a file and present it or place it in a location /etc/profile.d. Under that, you can define your own script. I have defined my own script, naming it as my_env.sh. So there are multiple other scripts which is doing this job. So that is all created for the system purpose. We can create our own script file and keep it there so that whenever we log in, so this variables that we have defined in this location would be applied for all the logins, for all the user logins, and it will be there forever. Okay, so I'll quickly show this in a moment. So first, let me show the user environmental variable. So I'm going to give sudos. Yes, sir, Sophie.
No, it's okay. I will wait.
Yeah, it is so for the user environmental variable, it's better to be the home directory. And if you see the home directory, so you can whip dot bash underscore profile. So this file will be present inside the home directory of the particular user login. I have created a variable called greet me, and I exported this. This greet me is equal to hello Alex, have a good day. So this is a message, or this is a variable, and there's a value to it. So I have given this over here, and I've already restarted my session, and it should be available. And if I give echo $greet me, so it's going to say, hello, Alex, have a good day. So this is only for this user. In case if I have another user called guest, guest1. And if you, in this guest, if you say greet me, there will not be anything because it is not aware. It is very specific to that particular user. And in case if I have another session, very similar session for the same Alex user, I will definitely have this variable visible there as well. So there are multiple Alex sessions. This is one Alex session and this is another Alex section. This is a guest 1, 2, 3. Guest, this is a new, this is another user where this greet me variable is not available. And this is called a user environmental variable. Okay, user login for the variable will be visible only for the user account. So next one is actually the global variable. So to have the global variable, you may have to go to root account, and in this go to etc profile.d, and if you see here, there are multiple other files here. These are script files that are generated by the system, and you can create your own file, and I have created my own, and I kept named it as my environment.sh. So this is my file, and inside this file, these are the information that I give. I have defined three variables. One is C.S. Lewis, Roosevelt, M. Teresa. So these are some quotes that I picked up on the internet. So I've given named them as variables and then given them a value here. So this is now available across all the logins. So if I have restarted the system, so it will be available. So if you put echo C.S. Lewis, so this is a quote which is given by this person. So that's there. And here's another quote. So all of these variables are in the global environmental variable. And if I log in as other login also, it will be visible. This is in the guest login, so it is available here as well. So this is the global environmental variable. So yeah, so
this is the new file that you have created, the customized
yes,
file.
correct.
This does not exist in the system level.
No, we can create there are multiple other files. I have not disturbed. Maybe you can put your variable in any of these files. Mostly it should be working okay. But I created my own file and I updated my environmental labels over there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll move on. So let me know if you have any other questions on or any requirement with respect to your office environment. Maybe we can help. I'll be happy to help you in case if you want to export some variable to any other place. So you can let me know. Okay, so we have seen all this, and let's continue with the arithmetic expression is what we had seen. Okay, so now we'll see control flow. So before that, we'll do some arithmetic expression also, some work. Num1 equal to 5, num2 equal to 3 or 4. So echo dollar num1 plus num2. Give this value. So this is an arithmetic operation if you want to do subtract.
This dollar means always a variable, right, Alex?
Dollar is generally used to retrieve a value inside a variable. So if you want to, for example, num1 is equal to 5. This is a variable. This is a value that I've assigned for this variable. And if I want to retrieve or read the num1, then I have to give dollar num1. So that will tell me the value that is stored inside this variable. If you don't give the dollar, it will give whatever you give, it will get printed. If you give dollar, if you prefix it with dollar, it will try to retrieve the value that is stored inside this variable.
But I think yesterday we were discussing to print, let's say, for example, you have two variables, num1 and num2. So if you want to print all the variables, there was something we were using, no? To display or to print all the available variables or the defined variables. There was, I think, we were using the file. We were navigating to the file, I believe. Then print environment, I think, yes.
Print env, that is meant for this is the environmental variables.
This num1 and num2 is defined got defined here or no? I mean for this session.
No. If I export, then it is getting visible here. Otherwise, it's not. It will
Okay.
go away out of when I go out of this sessions. This will go away. If you see here, this is a greet me. This one is present here. This is a variable that I given for the user. So this is present. So this is as part of the user environmental variable. So this
Okay.
this we can see here.
But this user variable we cannot see. I mean, all together we can see one by one, but all together we cannot.
User whatever variables that we have temporarily been using. So if you want to see, I think that should be there. I again I I forgot that. So there's another command to see if there is any if we have to list all the temporary variables that we have that we are using in the Linux at any point of time. That will give the list of variables, temporary variables. So we have seen the permanent variables, but if you want to see the list of temporary variables we have, so there's a command. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So coming to this one, so this is arithmetic operation. So we have this num1, num2. So I said dollar is something to retrieve the value stored inside a variable. But in this case, we are doing an arithmetic operation. So arithmetic operation with the values that are stored in two variables. So since I'm doing some arithmetic operation can happen only if it is enclosed within two parentheses. So that's a rule that we should not forget. So if we want to do some arithmetic operation, we have to put two parentheses at both sides and prefix it with dollar. So then it will start doing the arithmetic operation, whatever it is, plus, minus, multiplication, division, whatever. So all things can be done. So next one is comparison, and logical. So these two things would give us an output. So comparison will say whether when you compare two things, whether this one is equal to that one. So that means there is a num1 and num2. So if you want to check if both are equal and if it is equal, then we will get a 0 output. So 0 output, and if it is not equal, we'll get non-zero output. So this is the way we can compare things. I'll show this what I mean here. Currently, we have num1 as this 5, and num2 we have 4. And if you want to compare between these two variables, they are num1 is greater than num2, then I can use test $num1 minus GE $num2. So what I'm doing is I'm testing whether num1 is greater than or equal to num2. So it has successfully taken, did not give any error. So I can get this, I can see the error, I can see the output by printing echo $? So question mark is a temporary variable. It's a variable that Linux uses if to store the variable to store the results. So here we are actually comparing two variables, and to store the result of this comparison, by default the result will store in question mark, and $question mark will retrieve the value that is stored in the question mark. And if you put echo $question mark, it means 0. 0 means it is success. Yes, it is.
But we cannot
Great.
We cannot combine both together when you're running like echo $test or something like this.
Yeah, we can do that. I'll tell in a moment. So one more thing. So I'm trying to check whether num1 is equal to. So if I put, so it is more, it's not true. So now we are seeing the value as 1. Okay, so this is the way the comparisons would work. So instead of having this test, we can use another called if statement. So if statement basically would do the would have the in comparison. So there is a sense this if statement. If you take a look at this if statement, if and this command, this is where we will have to put the condition. So if A is greater than B, something like that, then if it is true, then whatever we are giving in this location will get executed. If it is not true, then you have another chance to check if A is greater than C, for example. So some other condition, another condition. If that is true, then it will execute this portion. If both the conditions are not true, so then it will go in and get into this location and do the job that is given over here. So this is how the if else statement would work. I'll show you an example over here. So this is a quick example that you can see. I've given num1 is equal to 7, and I'm going to check if $num1 minus g greater than or equal to 5. That is one condition. And I'm also going to check another condition. And is I want both the conditions to be true. And num should be lesser than 10. If it is true, greater than equal to 5 and lesser than 10, if it is true, then I'm going to say num1 is between 5 and 10. So this is the thing I'm going to do. So let me just copy this and run this. This if statement is so previously we had test. There's a test. Test can be replaced by these square brackets. Square brackets we can use instead of test. So the square bracket will do the job of test syntax. So if and we are giving a condition here, and then we are giving another condition, and both conditions are true, I'm going to print that num1 is between 5 and 10. So this is what is the script. So let us try to run this. Scripts are little sensitive about spaces also, so it takes some time to write some script like this. Yeah, but now it is working because the reason was that it was expecting a space after this square bracket, both sides. And if that is not there, he will grip, but he will not tell what is wrong. So like that, and I have not. So currently I have just checked num1 greater than 5. If it is true, I'm going to print number is greater than 5. If it is not, I'm going to say num1 is less than 5, like this. So this is one of the if else statement which we can use for comparing two variables, then executing a set of instructions if it is true, and executing another set of instruction if it is not true. So that's what if else is all about. So any doubts on this?
I think it's okay. I mean, the important thing here is practice. We need to practice on this one. So yeah.
Yeah. So I have some of scripts already written. I'll just take this, otherwise it will take more time to write.
Okay. You work on development side also, Alex?
Yes, Safi. Yeah, basically I'm a development engineer. I'm basically all my experience was in development only. So
Development is like a specific language or APIs or anything
yeah,
else?
C programming and C++, Linux.
Redfish,
Yeah. So
Redfish. Yeah.
and onto routers and switches, predominantly on the Cisco routers and Cisco switches. That was my experience all along.
Oh, okay. I mean, when you say developing is in specific to any coding, I mean, coding specific to any application or integrations, interfaces, APIs, or like in what kind of
Yeah,
coding?
coding is so you might have seen, I mean, the routers and switches, right? So which are there. So for that, I write some code, add some features, for different protocols. We'll add some features. We'll fix some bugs for
Related to
different customers.
SNMP and NMS protocols also
Yes,
for
not only
reporting on
that.
NMS.
So, and
Your voice is breaking.
ACTE, we have.
Your voice is breaking, Alexei.
Is it clear?
Now we can hear. Yeah.
So the protocols, routing protocols like OSP, FPGP, and layer 2 protocol like spanning tree and VLAN and VPN. So all of these things on the development side. So basically, standards, how things are working, how things would work like that.
Okay. 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 If you don't mind, after the session, we have some
Yeah.
something. I don't know if we can give us like 5-10 minutes. We will share one scenario. I don't know if there can be some helping hands for this.
Yeah, maybe I'll take a look. Maybe, I mean, it's about what?
Yeah.
It's
Mainly
about
related to NMS traps or SNMP traps.
SNP traps. Yeah. Yeah. So you want to have some support on NMS to retrieve some traps or something like that?
We are normally, the hardware, like for example, this Linux servers, you say, but not going to the OS point of view, but hardware level. So, which normally reporting the SNMP traps to NMS servers like Nagio or any other in the market.
Yeah.
So we are working on this and SNMP traps for this hardware reporting to Nagio.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you are working means it's not yet ready. So you're developing that.
In fact, there is already a communication, but we are introducing a new hardware, let's say new models or new product of
Oh,
hardware.
okay. So that has got SNP stack in it, which is capable of sending traps.
Yes.
Okay. So then probably, I mean, if it is already working, it's capable of sending traps, then we may need to generate a trap and so that identify the event, and then we'll have to
Yes.
trigger a trap for that particular event. So that,
Yes.
I mean, it's
Yes.
very simple,
Okay,
I've
Halal.
told, but it may take more
Yeah,
time.
I agree with you. Yes. We just want to share with you. I don't know if there can be some
Yeah.
guidance, some assistance to this one. If you
Sure,
have
sure,
10-15 minutes after the class. Yeah.
Yes, Safi. Yeah,
Right.
we'll
No
do
problem.
that.
Thank
Yeah,
you. All right.
yeah. So if else statement we have seen, and case statement is another thing. This case statement is basically will also execute a portion of the code, portion of the script based on a value that is there in the variable. So in this case, I have given a variable by name input. So this is a variable, and if the value of the variable input is
You're sharing a
1,
screen. We cannot see the screen, no?
oh yeah, okay, sorry.
No, no, we can see.
Yeah. So this is a case statement. So it will execute a portion of the script based on the value that is there in a variable. So suppose if you have a variable and which can take sometimes it may take 1, sometimes it may take 2, sometimes it may take 3, so on. And based on the value, you might want to execute a portion of the script. So this case statement would help us to do that. So if the value in the input is 1, then the scripts that we have or the instruction that we give under the 1 block will get executed. If it is 2, then the instruction that we are given in the 2 block will get executed. And if nothing, I mean, if it is something else without other than 1 and 2, then it will go to the default state and it will do the job. So that's how it is. So I'll show you the example. And I have
Based on the, let's say, input or client
based on
input
the
or
input.
user input.
Correct. So based on the user input, it will show the value. So this is a small script that I've written. I'll copy this and run it here. So this is a small demo. So what I have written is enter your mother tongue. So I have given only 3 languages. So forget about the information here. So English, Tamil, and Hindi. So 3 things I given. And whatever the user gives, I'm going to put I'm going to store the value in the variable lang. Lang is a variable that I have created. So I'm going to put the value inside the variable lang. So in this case statement, if the user has given typed English, so there is a English block here, which will get executed and it will say echo good morning. And suppose if the user has typed Tamil, so it's going to echo Kale Vanakkam. So this is the thing for this language. And if it is for Hindi, then it's going to be Namaskar. And if the user is giving anything else other than this, so I'm printing only invalid option. Invalid option. So this is a demo thing. So let me try to run this. So it's asking me to enter the mother tongue. I've entered English and it says good morning. I can rerun this, and in case if I give Tamil, it says Kale Vanakkam. In case if I rerun it and then say Hindi, I'm going to say this one. And in case if I'm going to rerun this and say Italian, then it's going to say invalid option.
But this option is case sensitive, like English has to be capital E.
Yes. So yeah. So that's the reason I've given this enter your mother tongue English. Maybe I can give whatever thing. So specified here, English. So the same E should be capital and things like that. So otherwise it will not work. If I give English, it will go and say invalid option.
Okay,
Because
good. So I mean, these are all like the subscripts, scripts to the subscripts, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is like calling each other thing. When you look at the master script, so it will be like a bundle of all small scripts.
Correct. And I've given demo thing, but I could not find a suitable real-time requirement. In case if there is any real-time requirement, this can be easily done. So it will be very useful. And instead of English Tamil, you can also give 1, 2, 3 also. So there's also another example that I have. Can show 1, 2, 3. Same thing, which will show 1, 2, 3. You see here. Okay, so I've given 1 for English, 2 for Tamil, and 3 for Hindi. And if the user is typing 1, so it's going to get executing, it will be executing the 1. 2. So if it is, I just gave English as such here in the previous example. In this case, I'm going to give the number. So lang will have the number. Based on the number, so it is going to match that and it's going to execute the appropriate script. This is about case statement. Maybe when
if
you
you go
get
back
some
to the
time
script text here,
Mhm.
can you please walk us through to this formation of script? Like you start with read, then case and escape.
Yeah, yes, sure. So script is basically the first line should be we may need to specify hash exclamatory slash bin slash bash. So this is generally called as a shebang line. Shebang line. This looking at this line, the script the bash shell will have a interpreter by default built into it. So the bash interpreter, which is there in the bash terminal, will start reading line after line and will do the job line after line. So interpreter is something like translate one language to another language. So this interpreter, which is built into the bash terminal, will translate the English-like language that we have given in this bash script, and it will convert it to the machine language. So that's the job of the interpreter. So looking at this first line, you will come to know the information that are present in this file or bash commands or bash related script. So that is the reason. So first line would be required. And for otherwise, so hash is if we any of the lines, if you put hash, so this will get commented out. If you put a hash at the beginning, so that line will get commented out. You can also see the color getting changed. So this is an exception only for the first line. First line, it will take that it is a CBAN line and it will accept. So that is a some information about the scripting. So coming to the second line, read is a command which will read the value for a variable. The variable that I'm using here is lang. Lang is the variable that I'm using, but I want the user to give the value to it. I want the user to give the value for this variable. The previous cases I have given num1 is equal to 5 and all. So I gave the value for the variables. In this case, I want the user to give the value for this variable. And to know the value that needs to be given for the user, I'm using a string. I'm saying, in this case, it is the mother tongue. So I'm prompting a string here, prompting a message saying to the user saying that enter your mother tongue. So if it is and 1 for English, 2 for Tamil, and 3 for Hindi, like that. So I've asked I'm saying the user to give this will help the user to feed in the right input to the system. So once the user types in the number, so the number will get stored in this lang variable. Lang is the variable. In this variable, the number would get stored. So based on, so the next is the case statement. Case statement starts with the case and ends with the ESAC. So one thing we need to understand, I mean, we need to keep it in mind is shell script, this case statement, if all of these things are starts with the same, if means it starts with IF and it ends with F5. So that's how they have designed this. So reverse of case is ESAC. So when the system comes to when it reads the ESAC, then it will assume that okay, case block is now over. So and with that, he will stop the case job. So case block starts here, and case block. So it's going to do the job based on the value that is stored in the lang variable and lang in. And if the variable is holding a value 1, and it's going to go in execute these lines. So the line is echo good morning and then double semicolon. Looking at this semicolon, he will get to note this is the job and it's done. Going to execute further. He will not go and execute the second block, third block, or star block. So it's not going to, because one block is already matched, and once it is done, looking at this double colon, he will do this he will get out of this case and then execute the ESAC. However, you can also have more lines, not only one line you can have. You can have, for example, if you want to have echo, how are you? Something like that. So this will also get executed until it will encounter this double semicolon. So that is what it is. And if the value stored in the lang variable is 2, then it's going to execute this block. And again, when it comes, when it encounters this double semicolon, he will assume that this is the end of the case, and it will get in here. And finally, if you give echo and you say the case statement is finished, the case is end of case. So I'm going to give 1. So if you see, it is it is printing good morning and as well as how are you. So both things are printed. And at the end, I have given end of case statement that is also printing, which means it is executed this one, which means it will get out of this and then it's going to run this one. So this says end of case statement that is also getting printed. So that's how this case
Two
would
things
work.
here, yeah. Firstly, you instead of let's say the fourth case, it is a one character star. This is strange. This one, what does it mean? So
If it means if the lang value is going to have anything other than 1, 2, and 3. So it has got a matching for 1, 2, and 3. However, it is not
yes.
having any matching for 4 or anything like that. So then it will get into that thing. So for example, if I give 5, it says invalid option, and then it comes out of the thing, and then says the end of case statement. That's the last line that I've given. So it is printing this message.
Okay. And where are
Yeah,
the logs saved for this execution of script? or just a test. So we can point to save this logs, right? The logs in a way that okay, whenever this uh, command or script is executed, like for example, there are entries, right? So what does user enter? User enter number 2, and then this was the answer. So where we can save it somewhere, the logs.
Safi, I don't think there's any log, but we can code it. If you want all of the things that are fed by the user to the script
Yes,
needs to be recorded in a log, I think we can do
yes.
a coding. We can script that as well so that it gets recorded
Mm.
in a particular location. So the log file we can generate for any script. If at all, if it's required by default, whatever is entered onto the system will not be logged because this is a script that I only created, and this is not a system level or nothing like that. If there is a system level service something, then there's a log that is available. But this is a script that I created, and system would not be able to watch that. So unless otherwise I put everything into store the whole thing into a log. I that's also that's possible. So in case if the user is entering one, and if you want to have a record of what the user has entered, yes, then it should be possible to have that stored in a log along with the timestamp. For example, if you want to have at this timestamp, this user gave this input, so that can be logged into a location. So that can be done. I think can be done like this also in case. We need to write it. I'm just trying to write it now.
No problem. You have Teams in your laptop, or you can have access to Teams, Alex.
No, Sophie. So what did you say? It's a
Do you have access to Teams or no?
Teams. Yes, I have access to Teams.
No.
No, there's something else to be done. I need to check that. So if that is correct, will check that and get back. So
Okay,
I
okay,
tried one thing, so it's not storing. It's not that read command. I mean, I need to spend some time, maybe 5-10 minutes time exclusively for that. So we should be able to get that.
okay. But our understanding is normally any script or any execution of script, it can be a daily schedule or anything. Normally by default, we should, as a
Have a
best
log.
practice, yes,
Yes.
yes,
So
print in
that's
a
a
log for
correct. So
troubleshooting
that
later on.
is yeah. So that is a scheduler. So there is a cron scheduler that we have learned a few days back. So if I give this, if I feed in this script uh, as to the cron to get executed at a particular point of time on a daily basis, so that will get stored in the cron.log. So there's a log file called cron.log, and it will be in cron.
Yeah. So this is by default is created whenever you
Yeah.
create a
See
log.
here. So this is a log. So cron.hourly got executed her cron. All of these things are the cron service is doing this job. However, if you want to create a script and if we on our own, and if we want the script to log the things that are about its operation and things like that into a file, yes, we can do so, and we can write it. We can do that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll continue on this case statement is done. So next one is called for loop statement. So for loop statement, this is a loop statement. So in case, for example, if you want to run a specific statement, specific script line multiple times. So for example, for a quick demo, I mean, I'm just trying to say, if I want to print my name, say 100 times. So one way is use echo command, echo like that 100 times, which is not feasible. Suppose if it is 1,000 times, then it is not feasible. So if I want to run this same script in how many ever number of times, there is a tool, or there's a for statement, for loop statement, which comes handy to us to repeat a same statement many number of times. So this is very useful thing. So so I'll quickly show you the quick usage of this again by some of the samples that I have. See, for example, so /bin/bash I equal to 0. So the logic would be like this. So the for loop statement would look like this. If I want to run, if I want to print, or if I want to execute this statement repeatedly for 20 times, so I need to write the script like this. For I is a temporary variable that I'm using. I is equal to 0. That's the initial value. And if I want to retrieve, if I want to iterate this loop for 20 times, this is the condition up till which this loop will get executed. I less than 20 is the conditional thing that I want to do, and I plus plus means for every iteration increase the value of I. So that's what it means. And between the do and done, I can have whatever things that I want to run 20 times. So if I run this, it is only one statement I gave, echo is AWS bashrc Linux. And I had not given 20 echo statement, only one echo statement, which got repeatedly called or repeatedly invoked by the shell terminal 20 times using this for loop. And the for loop would look like this. So for I is equal to, and you may have to make sure that it is enclosed by double parenthesis, I equals 0, I less than 20, I plus plus, and then do this. So it'll
But this is
do
only one type of, whenever we talk about the loop, Alex. So it's just the for means like a loop function, or like there are other
correct.
functions also.
No,
Concerning the loop.
for is a loop function. It's a loop function
Okay.
which we have to use for repeating a set of statements.
Oh, okay. Okay. So this is the only option if someone wants to repeat printing or echoing. Look. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So that's the only option. But the way of running this for loop or multiple ways we can use it. If you see, there's another demo that I have. So see here, so this is I'm running this loop for 5 times or 6 times, and every time when I run, I'm going to create a file, and this file is going to be named based on the number stored in the I. So I'll run this and I'll get to know what it is.
What is this echo minus E creating? Normally
Echo
you're
minus
using
E,
echo normally, right?
yeah, echo minus E will is an option that we can use to use any other see, for example, I am saying $I am using inside
Okay.
$I I'm using inside a string. So then I have to use this minus E.
Okay.
So not only that, so in case if I want to give tab space, or if I want to print, if I want to say what to say, if I want to print each and everything in after in different lines, then it will print like this. So creating one line, a one line, file one line. So /n would be honored when you give -e. Otherwise, it will not be honored. So like that is how it is. I'm running this command chmod +x for demo1. So so if you see here, it is successfully created 6 files: file 0.txt, file 1.txt, file 2.txt, file 3.txt. And creating is in one line, a is in one line, because /n I had given for demonstrating this. Otherwise, it's not required. So /n would be honored only when I give this e option in the echo. Otherwise, it will not. It will print the /n as such. /n means actually the /n means actually create a new line. So that's what it means. So what the script does is, so I'm printing a echo message, creating a file with the name file $i. So every time, if for every iteration, the value of I ranges from 0. First iteration, the i's value will be 0. Second iteration 1. Second iteration 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will go up to 6. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a file with a touch command, touch and file. And every time I want to create a file, I'm giving a file name as touch0.txt, touch1.txt, touch2.txt, like this. Like this I'm creating. And if you see here, so I have all the file star.txt. If I put, so all the files are here. File 01.txt, 2.txt, 3.txt. Like this we have, we can use.
Better.
Yeah. So there are multiple other ways we can use the for statements. If we have, say, this is another example. If I run this, so I have a list here. So, and this list has got a lot of names: Bala, B, Nitin, Arun, Nita, Alex. So these are names. And in this loop, I want to pass, whenever, for every iteration, I want the I value to take the value of these names for every iteration. So first iteration, I will take the value of Bala. Second iteration will take the value of Abhi, and 3, Nitin, Arun, Nita, and Alex. So for all of these things, all of these names would be assigned to the variable I for every iteration, and the for loop would print Bala, good morning, Abhi, good morning, Nitin, good morning, like that. So that's how it can be used. I'll show the demo as well.
But it's strange the way this kind of variable, let's say I, is not being quoted or dollared. It's just I. So no double quote or no dollar. So this is how it is used.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's not,
Yes,
it's a variable. It's a temporary variable. The value to this variable will be passed in from this list. This is a list. We talked about
but
array
the last format you showed for is it was a different way,
was
right?
different. Yeah, for was for value, for format was different. This is another format. This is another format. This will also be useful in real-time scenario, like if you want to have multiple things passed in, and for every thing you want to do a particular job of some calculations you may want to do. So then probably you can put all of these things in a list and use this for loop in this manner, and it will do the job.
Okay.
This is another way of using this for loop, and there are multiple other ways of using for loop in the script. So I'll just quickly show that as well.
But
Almost
do
time,
you have
so
any
maybe
kind
I'll.
of snapshot or something for this kind of functions? Summary of like what you had for Linux commands. Do you have any
Yes,
document or
so if you
PDF?
see this, yeah, if you see this slide now, Safi, so this is a simple for loop. And you see here for n in 4, 5, 6, there are 3 values. And the aim of this thing to add 4 plus 5 plus 6. That's what I'm doing it here. For every iteration, I'm keep adding these numbers 4 plus 5 plus 6. And once I come out of this loop, I'm printing the final sum. So this is an example. This slide I will be sharing it with you and I'll be storing it in the SharePoint. You can take a look. So this is one method of using the for loop. And the second method of using the for loop is this. It's called range-based for loop. So this they call it as a simple for loop, and this they call it as a range-based for loop. And here you can say for n in 0 dot dot 5. So you can put like this. So this actually would mean that it's going to take the value starting from 0 to 5 to the n. For n variable, first iteration will take the value 0. So the second iteration will take the value 1. Third iteration will be taking the value as 2, and so on, all the way up to 5. And here again, I'm using the uh, 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 calculation to add all of these numbers 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. That's what I'm trying to do using the range-based for loop. So this is the next way of using it. So the third way of using is what I showed you initially, this C style based loop. I demonstrated this to you. And this one is also I just demonstrated to you with this good morning and things like that. So this is called for loop in arrays. So this is the 4 ways that loops can be created in the bash script. So the last one, this is the last slide with this I'm done. So we'll stop with this. We'll take, I mean, how do you want to, I mean, shall I finish it off or you want to take it next day?
Maybe next class is better.
Yeah, okay.